I welcome you all in my next video in complex analysis, which is in semester 4. So I'll be discussing the brief revision of the complex number and their graphical representation. Then I'll go to the Euler formula and De Moivre's theorem, and then I'll go to the roots of the complex number. And gradually, then whatever it is in the syllabus that we'll be discussing. So first we'll be discussing about the complex number. So there is no real number x which satisfy this polynomial equation x square plus 1 equal to 0. So that is the that complex number came because there is no real number which satisfied x and it will be x square plus 1 equal to 0. So this complex number came, and that complex number, it is represented by the I, or it is the imaginary number, and the complex number I square equal to minus 1, and the complex number, it is represented by a plus I b, or this is z equal to, it is mostly represented by z, complex number equal to a plus ib, where a and b are the ordered pairs, and this e the real part of the complex number and b the imaginary part of the complex number. So it is represented at real z equal to a and imaginary z equal to b. So the real numbers is a subset of the complex number, because in this complex number the real number is there. So complex number, this complex number a plus the two complex number are there, a plus ib and c plus id. These two complex numbers are equal if and only if a equal to c and b equal to d. Then we'll talk about the complex conjugate. The complex conjugate, it is represented a plus ib. Its complex conjugate is represented by z bar or t z star. So complex conjugate is a minus ib. It is a minus ib. If the complex number is a plus ib, then its conjugate is a minus ib. That is complex conjugate. This is known as the complex conjugate. So we'll be discussing some algebraic operation of these complex number. So the algebraic operation, some algebraic operation of the complex number. Number 1, addition. That is, if z1 plus z2, z1 is a complex number, z2 and complex number. If we add it, then it is x1 plus ii1, is the first complex number, plus x2 plus iy2. So we add the real portion x1 plus x2, plus we take the imaginary part y1 plus y2. Similarly, if we multiply this multiplication, so we get, that is z1 into z2, so it is x1 plus iy1 into x2 plus iy2. If you multiply it, so we'll be getting x1 into x2, then I into I square minus 1, so it is minus y1 into y2 plus I, and then it is x1 y2 plus y1 x2. So this is the multiplication. Then we go for the division. In the division, what do we get? Division, if there is a z1 by z2, two complex number, if you divide it, where z2 is not equal to 0, then z1 by z2, which is written x1 plus iy1 by x2 plus iy2, two complex number. If you divide it, then you multiply numerator and denominator by x2 minus iy2. So this becomes x1 plus iy1 divided by x2 plus iy2 multiplied numerator and denominator by x2 minus iy2, and this is x2 minus iy2. So we will be getting x1 x2 plus x1 x2 plus y1 y2 divided by, this is x2 square plus y2 square. So x2 square plus y2 square plus, and then this is I, and then it is x2 y1 minus it is x1 y2 divided by x2 square plus y2 square. So these are the algebraic operation that we will be using in the complex number. Then we are coming to the what are the laws that being obeyed in the complex number. So the firstly we are discussing the laws. First one is our the associate laws of addition. Associate laws of addition, and that is equal to, if we have three complex number z1 z2 z3, so if we add it z1 plus z2 plus z3, first we if we add two number z2 and z3, then we z1, and then it can be written as z1 plus z2 plus z3. So first we add these two and 3, two complex number, then we z1, which is similar to the first we add these two 1 and 2 and with 3, then it will be equal. So that is known as the associate laws of addition. Next is your commutative laws of multiplication. Commutative laws of multiplication, and that if you have the two complex number z1 and z2, if we multiply it, if we change the order of the multiplication, then if you multiply like z2 and z1, then both the things will be equal. The product of these two complex, 1 with 2 and 2 with 1, then this becomes equal, and that is not the commutative laws of multiplication. Then we have the associative laws of multiplication. Associative laws of multiplication. So if you have the three complex number z2 and z3, 2, this is multiplied with z1. Then if we change the order of the multiplication, if you multiply 1 and 2, z1 with z2, then we multiply z3, then these 3 then it becomes equal. So that is known the associative laws of multiplication. And number 4, we have the distribution law. Distribution law of complex number. If we have the three complex number, if we z2 plus z3, if we add these two numbers multiplied with 1, then it will be first it will be distributed, z1 will multiply z2 and then z1 with the z3. So these are the 4 laws that we always follows while doing the calculation in the complex number. So next I am coming to the what do you mean by the modulus and the argument in the complex number. Modulus and argument. Modulus and argument. So let z equal to x plus iy is a complex number, and or it is simply we can say x and y. So and then you want to plot it. If we plot in the graph, and the graph we have this two-dimensional plane. So this is real z, that is the x-axis, and y-axis, this is the imaginary z. So if I want to plot this complex number in this plane, So we have a point this, which coordinate is x and y. So that is point P and Z. So join it with the origin and draw the perpendicular to the x-axis. So this angle is our theta, and the distance from the origin to this point, that is the radius vector r. So here x equal to, in this case, this x equal to r cos theta and y equal to r sin theta, right? So z equal to, put this value x plus iy, x equal to r cos theta plus y equal to r sin theta. So which is if you take r as a common, so it is r cos theta plus I sin theta. So it is r radius vector, and cos theta plus I sin theta, that is known as the e to the power I theta. So this r equal to the radius vector from the origin to the point in this complex plane. R is, that is the modulus of the complex number, and that is equal to root over x square plus y square. That is the modulus of the complex number. Modulus of the complex number, that is the square root of the x square plus y square, and that is being represented by mod z, modulus of the complex number. So modulus of the complex number is find out by this formula. If you know the x and y, then square root of the x square plus y square, that gives the modulus of this complex number. And the argument is, it is represented arg, argument z, or simply argument z, that is equal to it is represented by the theta, and this theta equal to tan inverse y by x. So and this theta, that is the principal value of this argument, it always lies between minus pi less than equal to theta p less than equal to pi. So that is the principal value of the argument. The angle, this is the modulus, and this is the argument of the complex number. Also the modulus, it is simply the distance from the origin to the point in the complex plane. So this is the formula by which we find out modulus and the argument. Argument is the angle, and the modulus it is the radius vector. So next we are coming to the, in the graphical representation, that is the complex number, that graphically we did it. So this is equal to modulus z equal to r, modulus z equal to r. So this is mod z equal to r. So if we want to find out, it's the imaginary, the complex conjugate of this z equal to x plus iy, and complex conjugate equal to x minus iy. So x minus iy means this is the imaginary axis, and this is imaginary minus z axis. So if you take imaginary z bar means the complex conjugate, so that is x and y. So this is minus imaginary that is negative in the imaginary axis. So that will be represented x and minus y. So this is the point, it represents x and minus iy. So it will be like this, and you draw the perpendicular from this to this. So this represents r and minus theta. So this is our theta, where the r equal to mod z. So the magnitude, the modulus remains the same. Even if we find out this complex conjugate of the complex number, it's the modulus remains the same, only the angle becomes the negative. So that is the geometrical representation of the complex conjugate and the complex number in the plane, and this plane is known the Argand plane. Argand plane. So in which we can represent this complex number and along with its complex conjugate. Now I am coming to the what is the geometrical representation of the so next we are coming to the geometrical representation of geometrical representation of the sum, difference and quotient of complex number and quotient of complex number. So how the sum is represented? Firstly, the sum of the two complex number, how it is geometrically represented. So let us draw the plane. It is x and y, real axis and the imaginary axis, and we take two complex number z1 and z2. This is z1 and this is our z2. So by taking these two as two sides of the parallelogram, we complete this parallelogram like this, and you join this diagonal. This is our z1, this is our z2, and it is represented p. This is our q and this is r. So OP, this line OP, it is this represents the z1 complex number, and OQ represents z2 complex number. So OR is equal to, by this parallelogram, if you take these two complex number at the two sides of the parallelogram, so this OR equal to OP plus PR, and this is OP plus PR equal to OQ. So that is Z1 plus Z2, and OR that is equal to Z. So sum of the two complex number geometrically it is done like this way. So next we are coming to the what is the difference of these two complex number, how it is geometrically represented. Next is our difference of the two complex number. Difference of the two complex number. Again, you draw the complex plane. This is x, x and y, imaginary and the real. This is the origin. We take two numbers. This is our z2. We take this as a z1, and they complete the parallelogram. This. So this is z2. This is represented q, p, and this is r. So in this parallelogram, so we read OP is represented this length, it is your z1 complex number. Then we have the OQ, it is z2 complex number. So here in this triangle OP plus PQ, OP plus PQ, that is equal to, or can write down OP plus QP or QO, OP plus QO, that is equal to Z1 minus Z2, and that is equal to OR. So that is the difference. OR is equal and parallel to QP. So this is our Z1 minus Z2. That is the sum of the two complex number is the difference of the two complex number that we got like this. So I was talking about the product of the complex number. So if we have the two complex number Z1 and Z2, Z1 has the real part x1 and imaginary part y1, Z2 has the real part x2 and imaginary part y2. So if we multiply it, Z1 and Z2, so it will be x1 x2 and then x1 x2 then y1 y2, so it will be minus y1 y2. This is our real part, and then our imaginary part will be x1 y2 and then y1 x2 plus y1 and x2. So this is the product of the two complex number written in terms of the real part and the imaginary part. So z1 and z2, it is written as x1 x2 minus y1 y2 plus I, and this is x1 y2 plus y1 x2. Now if you write down in the polar coordinates, then you know that x1 equal to r1 cos theta 1, x2 equal to r2 cos theta 2, similarly y1 equal to r1 sin theta 1 and y2 equal to r2 sin theta 2. So if we put this value here, x1 x2 and y1 y2, these values in terms of the r and theta, then we will be getting the product of the two complex number. It will be written as so z1 and z2 in terms of the r1 r2, it is written as r1 and r2 then cos theta 1 into cos theta 2. So this is a cos part, and then minus sin theta 1 then sin theta 2 plus I, and then we have the cos theta 1 and sin theta 2 plus it will be cos theta 2 and sin theta 1. So this can be written as r1 r2, and this is cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. So it is our cos theta 1 plus theta 2 plus I sin this sin A into cos B plus cos A into sin B, so sin theta 1 plus theta 2, or this can be written as, so if you take its modulus z1 and z2, its magnitude will be, it is simply product of these r1 and r2. The r1 and r2 modulus of these two is the product of the magnitude of the r1 and r2 is the polar radius, and so simply it is a product of z1 and z2. So the if you take the modulus of the product of the two complex number, that is equal to the product of their moduli, and the argument argument of the product of the two complex number is the sum of their argument. So this is about the product of the two complex number.